family, like yours, Amy, valued Christian education. My dad served on the board of Oklahoma Christian from January of 1951 until his death in 1996. That meant we were on campus frequently. As a matter of fact, one of my earliest memories is being on the Bartlesville campus. I was literally so young that I was being held in someone's arms, probably Dad's. And I remember Mom and Dad were talking to a couple, and so going to Bartlesville was something very common. Stafford, I may even have a longer association with Oklahoma Christian than even you. Certainly I'll never match your record of being employed by the university. So I remember Bartlesville. I remember the move to Oklahoma City. I remember coming up to high school day, as it was styled, so many times. My experience growing up valued OC. And then I came here as a student in 1968. I was here from 68 to 72, and interacting with the faculty, being introduced to the academy. I graduated in May of 1968 from a huge class of 42 from Antlers High School. Scholarship was not exactly the hallmark of Antlers High School. But I came in the summer, and I walked into Harold Fletcher's music appreciation class. And my whole world expanded. I walked into Lynn McMillan's Western Civ class, not knowing that I was going to be tied to that for the rest of my life. And I also had Lynn for Sermon on the Mount. Much to my astonishment on the first day, he said, one of the requirements in this class is that you will memorize the Sermon on the Mount. That was an astonishing requirement to me, and yet one that has proved immensely valuable to my life. And then in the fall, I went into Bailey McBride's honors English class. My background in terms of writing English essays was non-existent. I didn't even know what a thesis was. And I was in Bailey McBride's honors English class. Can you see the enormous shift that's happening in my life at this time? And then, of course, I went on to study under Jim Wilson in innumerable classes. And by my senior year, they're saying things about me coming back to teach, which was an enormous challenge to me and exciting. And then in April of 1972, President James O. Baird called me to his office. I had no idea what I'd done. Here at the very end, am I not going to graduate? And he asked me to return to the university. I walked out of that office about 2 feet off the ground, I would say, at least metaphorically. And so that's why do I teach at OC? Why is OC my home? Those are some life experiences that brought me there. Why have I stayed, secondly? I'd like to share briefly 3 reasons in ascending order of importance to me. One is that OC has provided me the opportunity to be a practicing historian, to be a scholar, to be engaged in research, to write. I've published several articles. One article will be coming out this fall. I've got another one coming out next year. I've got a couple of research projects in beginning stages. That's fun. Secondly, OC has provided me the opportunity to be a teaching historian, to share history with students is one of my passions. It's exciting to help them develop their knowledge base and the discipline, the skills. It's exciting to mentor weaker students. We've actually, from history and political science, we have actually graduated a student who had entered with a composite ACT of 13. That is usually a good predictor of failure. But they worked hard, they were mentored, and they graduated. And we graduated a young man just this past April, ACT of 15. It's exciting to help those students. It's exciting to mentor those stronger students, those who you know from the very first class that they're going to be successes going to graduate school or law school. And so, again, just from this past April, Lynette Miller graduated with a 4.0. She leaves in another week or so for St. Andrews University in Scotland, where she'll be studying on a $35,000 Ransom Trust scholarship. Or Brandon McWaters is going to the University of Virginia Law School on an $18,000 scholarship. It's exciting working with those students. But thirdly, and to me most importantly, OC has provided me the opportunity to integrate faith and learning, to be engaged in ministry, or as Charles put it so well this morning, to live Christ out loud. With the students, before the students, in the classroom, deliberately integrating faith and learning in Western Civ and in topics in philosophy, and having students come back years later and talk about the importance of that class to them. Out of the classroom provides numerous opportunities. One of the things that I've had over the last few years are students and faculty coming to my office and saying, "Can I pray with you?" As I've dealt with some health concerns. One of the most important things about my 37 years at OC, to me, has been the opportunity to lead campaigns. I took 14 campaigns to England and Scotland. I helped start 3 Bible camps with ministers there. Out of my campaigners came 15 hymn workers. Out of those 15 hymn workers came 5 long-term missionaries, one of whom is still on the field. The wonderful, close relationships that I was able to develop with those students has been indeed one of the great highlights of my OC career. And I would encourage you to consider leading a campaign. It's one of the finest ways to impact young people and to impact the kingdom of God. So in short, why have I stayed for 36 years, going on 37? Because I get to do what I love to do, and to have a positive impact on young people for the kingdom of God. I get to be a historian, a teacher, and a minister. And for me, it doesn't get